Hello and welcome. Today, we are going to dive deep into something that affects every single one of us: how our daily lives are literally, physically shaping our brains. We're going to uncover the hidden toll of chronic stress and, more importantly, explore the powerful protective shield that exercise provides. So, let me just ask you this straight up. Is all that everyday stress actually wearing down your brain? I mean, we all feel it, right? The pressure, the deadlines, the constant notifications. But what if it's doing more than just putting you in a bad mood? What if it's creating measurable physical wear and tear on your most vital organ? So, how do you even measure something like that? I mean, the cumulative burden of stress. Well, scientists came up with this really fascinating concept called allostatic load. The easiest way to think about it is as your body's long-term stress score. And honestly, that phrase wear and tear is just the perfect way to describe it. See, our bodies are amazing at handling short bursts of stress, but when it's chronic, when it just never lets up, our systems are forced to constantly adapt, and all that adapting has a price. That's allostatic load. It's the long-term cost your body pays. And this isn't some vague feeling, right? This score is real. It's a composite measure pulled from four of your body's most critical systems. We're talking about the neuroendocrine system, think stress hormones like cortisol, the immune system with its inflammation markers, your cardiovascular system, so your blood pressure, and your metabolic system like your blood sugar. When all these things are constantly getting pushed out of whack, your allostatic load score climbs higher and higher. Okay, so we have this stress score. What's the big deal? What does a high score actually do to you? Well, this is where it gets really eye-opening when we look at the physical impact on the brain itself. And here's the real kicker. The brain is in this impossible situation. It's the command center that's trying to manage the whole stress response, but at the exact same time, it's the primary target of all the damaging effects of that response. It's basically caught in its own crossfire. So when researchers dug into this, they found that a higher allostatic load was tied to some very specific, very real changes. We're talking reduced gray matter volume, that's the brain's processing centers for memory and focus, and lower white matter integrity, which is basically the brain's communication network. Not surprisingly, this also meant people performed worse on attention tests. But here's the twist. A high stress score was not linked to beta amyloid plaques, those sticky proteins we always hear about with Alzheimer's. This is huge. It suggests that chronic stress ages the brain in its own unique and pretty destructive way. All right, I know that all sounds a little doom and gloom, but this is where the story takes a really hopeful turn. Because while stress can absolutely wear the brain down, it turns out we have an incredibly powerful tool to build it right back up. And you've probably guessed it, it's exercise. Yeah, we all know exercise is good for you. We've heard it a million times. But how? Like, what is the actual biological mechanism at work here? How does moving your legs actually translate into protecting your brain cells from a high-stress life? The answer is just so cool. It's this whole biological superhighway that scientists are just now really starting to understand. It's not just one thing. It's a complex, three-way communication network. They call it the brain-gut-muscle axis. And this is the secret conversation that's happening inside your body every single time you work out. So let's break down this amazing three-way conversation. Let's trace exactly how it works to defend your brain. So how does this whole thing work? It's a chain reaction. It all starts simply. You exercise. That signals your muscles to release these helpful little proteins called myokines. These myokines then travel through your body, and part of their job is to activate the good bacteria in your gut. Then, those happy gut bacteria start producing their own protective compounds called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs. And here's the final step. These compounds can travel all the way to your brain, where they help lower inflammation and basically boost overall brain health. It's this beautiful biological cascade, all kicked off by a single workout. So just to recap the key players in this protective squad, you've got the myokines. They're the messengers sent out by your muscles. You've got your gut microbiota, your internal team of good bacteria. And you've got the SCFAs, the protective, anti-inflammatory molecules they produce. This is the team that works together to fight back against the damage from stress. Okay, so this is the part you're probably wondering about. What kind of exercise is best to get this whole system fired up? Well, moderate aerobic exercise like jogging or cycling is great for your gut bacteria. Resistance training, lifting weights, is fantastic for getting your muscles to pump out those myokines. But look at this. The real winner? It's combined training. Doing a mix of both gives you the best of both worlds with a super high impact on the whole system. A little cardio, a little strength training, that's the most powerful recipe for protecting your brain. So when you put it all together, you can really see that there's this constant tug of war happening inside you, a battle for the future of your brain. And it's all about tipping the scales in your favor. The battle is pretty clear, right? In one corner, you've got chronic stress. It's jacking up your allostatic load, wearing down your brain structure, and tanking your cognitive performance. But in the other corner, you have regular exercise. It fires up that brain-gut muscle axis, provides neuroprotection, and boosts your brain's ability to adapt and grow. The amazing thing is, you get to decide who wins that fight. So really, the big takeaway is this. Your lifestyle is a constant conversation with your brain. Every choice you make, from how you handle a stressful day to whether or not you decide to get up and move, is a message you're sending. So the only question left is, what are you telling your brain today?